What's going on, guys? I'm up here in the San Gabriel Mountains here, just north of Azusa, and I want to show you something really cool from National Cycle. I came up Glendora Avenue, through Azusa, and now I'm up here in the mountain somewhere. Anyway, beautiful river running back here behind me. You might be able to hear that in the audio of this video. And then that there is the west side of Mount Baldy. But that's not why I'm here today. Well, it's a gorgeous place to shoot a video, and that is why I'm here today. But right now I'm going to focus on this guy right here. See this windscreen? This here is the stock windscreen for the Suzuki V-Strom 800DE. Now, National Cycle has a replacement screen. They actually have 3 different sizes of replacement screens that we have right here, and I'm going to show you just how this screen height changes one screen to the other. Now, another neat thing about these screens from National Cycle is the fact they come in 3 different tints. This shorty screen right here is in the dark tint. We then have this medium-sized screen in the light tint, just a little bit darker than the clear screen here that is the tall screen. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to swap each of these screens out, letting you see just the height difference that you're going to get out of the change of these screens. I'm then going to get each of these screens out there on the highway so you can see just exactly how different they are one screen to the other. Now, before we actually get to changing these screens out, let's take a look at the front of this motorcycle. It's going to take a single 4mm Allen key in order to remove these 4 screws. And let's take a look. Measuring from the base of this windscreen up, we're looking at a 9-inch screen is what we have here as far as the stock screen goes. Now, that's the height of this windscreen in the middle position of the V-Strom 800DE's windshield bracket. There are 3 different holes that you can choose from, and for my estimation, they are about 3/4 of an inch apart. So you can have about, I don't know, 1.5 inches or so of total height movement between the mounting points that you have on here. So we could go a little bit higher, we could go just a little bit lower, but this is the mid-range. Now, holding these National Cycle screens up to the same exact bolt hole locations, you can see that the cutout down here at the screen is the same. So the heights are then going to be measured. You can see that there's 3 perfectly different heights. We'll get those measured out as soon as we get this stock windscreen removed. So we're just going to pop these 4 screws out of the front of this windshield bracket. Now, I'm hoping that Suzuki was smarter than some of the other manufacturers out there, and I hope they secured the nut on the back side so we don't have to be chasing that guy around every time we take out a screw. That would suck. Now, these screws are the same exact length. You always want to verify that when doing a job like this. Make sure that there's not one screw that's shorter than the others. Okay. Stock screen removed. I'm going to start with the largest screen, or the tallest screen, because I'm going to ride home tonight starting out with the shortest screen that is tinted, just because I want to check that thing out. And then during the week, as I commute, I'll go larger and larger and larger so you can see the differences that we're going to have. This guy installed, we're going to go ahead and take our tape measure and get a good measurement. There you go, 19.5 inches is what we're measuring here on this. Actually, you know, I can go this direction. Let's check this out. There you go, 19.5 inches is what we're getting on this tall screen here. And that's going to be the view that you're going to have with the tall National Cycle V-Stream windscreen on the Suzuki V-Strom 800DE. All right, next up, we're going to have the medium-sized shield in the light tint. You're going to notice that the color on this is just a little bit different than that tall clear one that we just had on the bike. Just a little bit of tint. It's actually quite nice. Get these screws installed. Now we'll take our tape measure and get the measurement. And as you should be able to see there as we zoom in, we're going to have 17.5 inches on this medium-sized screen. Now, as I'm getting this screen fixed to the front of the motorcycle here, I'm going to give you a rundown of why I like National Cycle V-Stream windscreens and why I use them on my machines. If you notice, I've got one on the 390, I've got one on the 1190. What they do is this little patented V-Stream technology takes the air that hits the front of the shield and makes it swizzle like this in a V-shaped formation that ends up going out and around your helmet and your shoulders, and if you have a tall windscreen, it actually is going to clear your passenger as well. It's super, super awesome. The next thing I really like about National Cycle windscreens as compared to other windscreens out there is they're made of a polycarbonate. That polycarbonate material is essentially bulletproof. Oh man. Remember we were talking about captured nuts? Well, I just lost one. Dang it. This is what the little captured nuts on the back side of this windscreen look like. There's a little rubber flange that sits in there, but if that little rubber flange gets pushed out, these fall to the ground. No bueno. All right, back to the reason why I use National Cycle windscreens. Number one, they're pretty much bulletproof. You can beat it with a baseball bat.
Come on, put your back into it. Oh, come on, give it a big one. Come on.
You can have a brick fall out of the back of a truck, hit this, it's going to bounce right off and not shatter. Now, that is not the case with acrylic windscreens. Acrylic windscreens will shatter, and they're super dangerous in my opinion.
Acrylic versus polycarbonate. Here's the bash test.
The polycarbonate and the acrylic windshields in our shop. And the acrylic windshield doesn't do really well for things that hit it on the road. For example, someone flies up and hits you on the road, the acrylic shield goes boom. I think if I'm riding down the road, polycarbonate's the way I'm gonna go.
So I always go with the polycarbonate windscreen. The other thing I like about National Cycle windscreens is the fact that they use a quantum coating. Now that quantum coating is a hard coating that they put on the windscreen, and that does a couple things. Number one, it allows water to just shed right off of it. Number two, it makes it fade resistant. A lot of acrylic shields actually turn yellow over time. Polycarbonate doesn't do that. And the third thing that I really like about it is scratch resistant. Literally, I have worked with Paul from National Cycle, and we actually cleaned a windscreen with steel wool once. Absolutely crazy.
Now, it's been rumored that the National Cycle quantum coated shield can't be scratched. Is that true?
Absolutely. Here's the test.
Here's the acrylic shield and steel wool. Now that we've seen the effect that steel wool has on acrylic, let's step over to the polycarbonate with the quantum coating. Holy crap.
What do you see, Kyle?
I think I'm actually taking the fingerprints off the windshield and polishing it with steel wool. Dude, look at that.
That is the effect that quantum coating has on the polycarbonate.
Super, super durable. The optics that you get out of polycarbonate are absolutely supreme. You're not going to find anything with better optics in it. And they look good, and they provide great wind protection. Now that we have this screen mounted, let's give it a measure. This screen here is going to come in at 15.5 inches. And that's what I have for you today. The 3 different sizes and 3 different colors of National Cycle V-Stream windscreens available for the Suzuki V-Strom 800DE. If you have any questions about these screens, leave a comment down below. I'm going to be testing these screens over the next couple weeks. Every couple days I'm going to swap a different screen onto the motorcycle and give you guys an actual description of how the wind feels coming out and around and up and over each of the individual windscreens so you can know which windscreen is right for you. Thank you guys for watching, guys. I'm Kyle Bradshaw. Down below are a couple links to my affiliate sites. That really helps the channel when you guys click those links and make purchases. It doesn't cost you any money, but it definitely helps me out as a creator. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you. Until next time, take care and ride safe out there.